Hi you guys, I'm going to walk you through a sample lesson for one of my classes. So this lesson is going to be titled Approximating Square Roots, and this is the standard that I'm covering. It's 8th grade number system standard number 2. And for my lessons, I put must do, should do, and aspire to do in each lesson. It's not one lesson is your must do and the next lesson is your should do. I have components of each inside of my lesson. So I have my Edpuzzle here that I'll show you in a second, and this pairs with my guided notes, which for this lesson looks like this, and they would fold it along the lines and make kind of a tri-fold thing that they would glue into their notebooks. So let me show you my Edpuzzle video. This one is just under 8 minutes, and that's where I try to keep it. I think the recommendation is anywhere from 6 to 9 minutes. And most of them I average about 8 minutes. And then I add in my questions and my notes here so that as the students are watching, they can go ahead and answer these questions. For each video, I try to add in at least one open-ended question. That way, when I look at my end on Edpuzzle, I get notified that the students have completed it. Because if all you have is multiple choice, then you're not going to see a red flag unless you're going in your notifications. But if you have open-ended that need to be graded, it flags you. So I tend to use at least one per video. I'm not sure if this one has, but I also try to include notes in there too to tell students to write things down in their notebook. Oh, here's one. So anytime that I need an extra note, I'll just add it in using Edpuzzle. And I also try to always have captions, which is a feature on my Google Slides. And I just use their present mode caption creation. For my practice for this lesson, it's on Wiser, which is a really, really cool website that you can create your worksheets on. And I'm going to switch over to this tab to show you guys. I did put a link for you to make a copy in that slide deck, but this is what it looks like. So I have my title up here, and then I have my problems. And for this assignment, they just put in the answers, and then they turn in a blank piece of paper that shows their work. And so what they'll do is they click this box, and they'll put the whole number here, the fraction here. And then once they do that, the worksheet actually grades it for me. So I just get a score at the end. And they can see how many they've completed. And this one has, I think, 4 or 5 problems. So nothing intense, but definitely work for them. Next up, I have my mastery check. And this is what it looks like for their end. I have my objective, their name, their classroom number, the title of the lesson, what mastery check version they have, and it's usually 2 to 3 problems per mastery check. And on the teacher end, this is what I see. So since it's so small, I put 2 copies per page. And then I also try to make as many versions as I can. So I usually try to have 3 versions. And they're all very similar things like this. Still, they all have this problem because that's part of the standard. And then the numbers are just changing for each version. So very similar, pretty easy to grade. I keep in mind what my answers would be. And as you're grading 130 of them, for me, I figure out pretty quickly what my answer keys are. For my should do for this lesson, I have laminated puzzle pieces. So this is the puzzle when it's finished. And I just cut this up, laminate them, and put it in little baggies. And then the students have to work out the answers either by themselves or with a partner. And when they're done, they can take a picture or they can show it to me, and I'll give them credit for their should do. And just so you can kind of see what it looks like when it's all put together, this is a screenshot of my Google Classroom for this lesson. So I have Edpuzzle link and it's just a general straight to Edpuzzle because it's assigned in the Edpuzzle account for them. I have their notes in Google Classroom for them. I have their assignment, which is the Wiser Me. And since that puzzle is hands-on, I tell them where to find it. So it's in the stackable bins and they know where that is in my classroom. And then it gives them directions so that they can show me or take a picture of it and upload to Google Classroom. So they have everything laid out here and they have it color coded. So my must do's are red, yellow is my should do, and if I had an aspire to do for this lesson, it would be green. Sometimes I have aspire to do's. For the most part, my aspire to do's come at the end of the unit. It's a big project that includes all my lessons that I give to my early finishers. And that is my sample lesson for you guys.